Buddy, a very good afternoon to the by the watch. I'm Jashin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions. And on a Monday, afternoon, what could I be sharing about? Well, it's actually about my work and stuff. It's actually about something which I love doing. It's something which I'm really like enthused and passionate about and stuff. And what is that? That's not just doing a thought share. That's actually my line of work, which is designing and accessorizing interior solutions and corporate gifting products and stuff like that. Wherein I design, manufacture, and supply home and office decor and interior solutions. So there are sofas, there are lamps, there are mirrors, there are consoles, there's corporate gifting range. Then there is high-end luxury and premium quality semi-precious stone collection, which is for the international market and for the Indian market. So in that we've got some really nice, exclusive designs. Like an example of a project that we did was in Chandigarh, where we had really heavy ostrich legs done and stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Uh, Very popular in India, at least in Delhi, is the sparrow theme. So lots of products in those which we are doing, and we can continue doing for people and stuff, for sports lovers and for outdoor adventurous people and stuff. There is a selection in the category of products which is inspired from either being on a ship, or golf, or horse riding and stuff like that. So there are lots of products also designed in those. There is this theme in wildlife and animals, because I very strongly feel for humanitarian causes and the concern around what we saw in Corona, and we keep seeing, wildlife. United Nations is doing a lot for that and stuff. So there is something which is very personal and close to my heart, is these thematic designs which are in animals like kangaroos or giraffes, and dogs and stuff like that, and lots of other products. Okay, now, so now what is the post all about? The post is actually about, not getting threatened and not feeling challenged by high quality luxury. Because what happens is that when you go into architectural projects, and when you get into, some really big volume business and stuff of design and construction, the high end architectural projects are all about high quality luxury. They use marble, they use expensive material, they use stainless steel, and they have, like lots and lots of designs which may feel cold to a lot of people. And because you also have biophilic happening, and you have deconstructive construction happening all over the world and stuff. So a lot of those elements are also kind of converted into designs that they are gotten into their homes and stuff. Like you would have a bed, which is actually, if you follow English movies or you've seen Star Trek series and stuff. So everything was within a spaceship. So the whole idea of a spaceship room with a bed in it and everything is something which is really happening these days. And people are kind of also getting into some really, some people would call it crazy, but these are these innovative ideas where you have probably a igloo kind of a thingy, and you have a house, or you have a cafe or a luxury within the igloo, or the circular dome kind of a thing. The airplane thing is out. I thought of it a lot before Corona and everything. A restaurant in a airplane theme. I've already seen that happening in Gurgaon. Where you have one of the largest museums of cars and stuff, for vintage cars and everything and all that. So the point is, why not to get threatened? So on one side, you're seeing this kick-ass luxury happening everywhere. Co-working spaces, hotels, homes and stuff are all being constructed in that. But then there is a section of people who is moving away from high-end luxury to also, I would say, like a minimalistic kind of a design, where you have, like you still have that connect with the patterns and stuff, so there used to be this patchwork in school. They used to teach children, and you have artisans who do this patchwork, and they do these stitching designs and stuff like that, okay. So that's still back in fashion and stuff, and it's called pattern drenching, these trends are picking up again. These trends are there again. So why I say that people are getting threatened and stuff, because they see so much of expensive luxury happening everywhere and all that, and then they're like, we can't do this in our house and all that. So maybe we should just not consider revamping our house and stuff. So the point is, whenever you're doing up a house, or whenever you're doing an apartment, or whenever you're doing a space of yours, you have to address your concerns. Would you like to be in a loud space, or would you like to be in a aesthetic space which has still got luxury and stuff? And is it something which is close to your heart? Do you resonate with that and stuff? So say for example, I mean, I can think out loud of big architectural designs and stuff, and I say, when is it going to happen to India? But the point is, if I were to ask, if I was asked to live in a space like that, would I like to live in it? Would I like to live in a space which is like a dome, which is all metallic and stuff? It's got a bed and it's got this, technical thing to it. Would I like to live in it or not? On the other side, there are a lot of people who like flora, fauna, so they get into this pattern thing. So I've got a set of lines here. So these quiet trends, since I've been sharing about the Danish way of living, Haigi, are also very popular in Netherlands, and they're also popular in Europe. They're also popular in smaller Scandinavian countries, Spanish countries, and stuff like that. And Europe, of course, I've already shared. So there is this embracing touch of maximalism. However, minimalism is still there to stay and stuff. And interior designers are now trending into their own homes and other homes to keep a mix of patterns and prints and stuff like that. So if you were to take a walk, let's say in a city like Delhi, the Khan Market, or if you were to go towards, let's say, what else? I mean, you go to a DLF mall, yeah, the largest mall of the country and stuff. So what do you see? So most of the designs you will see in the showrooms are actually on flora and fauna, and they're actually on elite or the royal designs and stuff like that, okay. I'm not talking about apparel showrooms and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the bespoke ones. I'm talking about the high-end designer showrooms and stuff. So they've got this thing called the pattern drenching. So if you go into a shop, you'll see they've got a certain design and they've got patterns happening everywhere. The whole wall will be like that, or maybe the ceiling will be like that, or maybe the pillar will be like that and stuff. So in my language, it's actually a perfectly orchestrated kind of a theme which is running through the entire shop or the outlet and stuff. So how do people get inspired? So over the years they probably followed it, or it's their personal favorite, or maybe they've traveled to countries and cities, or maybe they've got architects or interior designers who recommended these to them because they know that the floral patterns or the bespoke ones are here to stay forever and stuff. So if you were to go into a retail outlet, you're actually going to be looking at designs which are kind of going to make you feel comfortable. I'm not talking about shopping in a departmental store or grocery store. I'm talking about personalized shops. So like a Ritu Berry or a Ritu Kumar or a Satya Paul and stuff. Satya Paul is now kind of revamped itself, but if you were going to go to these shops and stuff, over the years they've used patterns and stuff. And the reason is that they believe that their clothes and their creations also have a certain synergy which is associated with their designs and stuff. So what have I shared here? Pattern drenching is ultimately linking it to joy in the mix, where the goal is layered to have an interesting but comfortable, complex design. And these designs are the ones which are going to be giving you a more inviting and a relaxed space and stuff and all that, okay. So it's important to have your own thought process and stuff when you're kind of designing something. People who are wanting to go in for vibrant atmospheres and kick-ass stuff will have they have high walls. Like if you were to go to this Good Earth in Khan Market, you'll see that they have really tall or high walls and stuff. And when you go into the coffee shop or the restaurant up there, they actually have a floral thingy happening on the wall, or they've got these stripes and stuff and all that, okay, with the flowers. So this is because they've mixed this secondary pattern of something which I'm wearing, the navy thingy, or you could call it the European stripes and stuff. And you mix kind of some floral stuff in this, or you have some stitching in this and stuff. So this is how it works when it comes to luxury as well. So it's not important that you have to have this high-end, premium, expensive showroom and stuff. You can always mix it with some floral patterns. You can always have something which is contrasting to your brand campaign as well and stuff. And these kind of patterns, they normally go with everything. So if you were going to put certain plates, if you're going to put up some art, if you're going to put up some photographs, if you're going to place some mannequins and stuff, it's going to give you a rich or a very classy look. So it's like I've already said, kind of creating a perfect orchestra kind of a thingy, where you're trying to actually build a sense of balance and stuff. So hope this helps. So Monday morning, a lot of people are going to be doing design work. I'm doing it myself. I'm reading up and all that. So the point is this, that you kind of mix florals, and you kind of you kind of include them in a way that they are kind of giving you a room of cohesion and stuff like that. So on combining patterns, it's going to help you. Color tones are important, color palettes are very important. But the point is, try and have something which is going to be lively and upbeat and stuff, and is going to give joy. Because when you go into a showroom, you want to hold the attention of the customer and the people and stuff. So this is the way you must look forward to designing, and this is the way I recommend people to go forward. That not getting intimidated by high-end, super rich designs is a good idea, because along with those super rich design also comes maintenance and stuff. So the climatic conditions, your location, the weather and everything drives it big time. So this is how you go about in a certain country or in a certain area, where you're actually also going to be looking at balancing all of it and getting the best out of it. And most important is a budget. So people say they want to have most expensive of designs and stuff like that, but when you start talking and stuff, they don't have the budget. So in the end, I'd like to say that if people who are following this, architectural groups and designers and entrepreneurs and stuff, do keep this idea of biophilic, and do keep the idea of deconstruction ideas and stuff, because it looks so amazing. If you were to research different countries, they've got these amazing I would say, I won't even say Dubai. I mean, I think they've surpassed Dubai as well. So it's amazing. Those Luke stainless steel chrome looks and stuff like that, and they've got the whole architecture or the whole structure. So let's say you have a lotus temple, or let's say you have a Qutub Minar or a Taj Mahal, or you have they have a church abroad somewhere, and it's like an optical illusion kind of a thingy. So I can connect with it, the furniture with the stripes and lines and all that. So if you were kind of going to go on that level of discussions and debates and designing for your country, probably you can look into that. But if you're going to be building on a brand and a brand way forward, you have to consider all these concerns and stuff like that. So love and luck, and take care and have fun and have a blast, and go for big floral designs and stuff, and make sure that they are not kind of cluttering the whole space. So if you have a bed exhibited, and the bed also has, let's say, in a shop, quilts and pillow covers and cushions are all floral, and then the wallpaper is also floral, so it can be a little too much. And if you were to kind of extend this idea into your own room, maybe a hotel, a villa, a guest room, or your own bedroom, then you have to think about it, not too much of flora. So this is where the balance part of it comes in. So enjoy and have a great day, and love and luck. So, cheers on a lovely cup of black coffee. Take care of yourself. And jkapani@gmail.com, justinKapani.im@gmail.com. Love and luck and take care. With the weather and everything, you want to sleep. But when you wake up, make sure that you're kind of getting your thought process running by having a nice cup of coffee or a nice cup of cha, which is positive chi. So, love and luck and take care and have fun and have a blast. And yes, of course, you've got this. Purifiers and stuff. I use them all the time. The moment I'm feeling a little bad energy or bad smell from the places around my space where I work out of, I just go fuss and everything. So I recommend that to people. It's the easiest way if you don't have incense sticks or if you don't have anything around you and stuff. So love and luck and take care and have fun, have a blast, and that's a beautiful theme to have, a lime green theme. So my next video probably will be around flora and plants which can actually give you more abundance and more prosperity, and the easiest to maintain and stuff. Okay, so love and luck and take care. I think I've done one on that, but I'll extend it again on popular demand. Bye bye, take care.